Hey everybody, how's it going? Hey, welcome to the show. Not very many people here. Yeah, I've thought about discontinuing 30 minutes of awesome. I know it's probably not the most popular thing. Joy, you need to get in Discord. I know you already are. We set you up, but you haven't been chatting. You come on here and chat, but you should chat in Discord. It's where the Termite Trading Lab people are. Anyway, alrighty. Dun, 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 dun. Put this over. Put me on this side. There we go. Google earnings just fired off. A little bit disappointing, I guess. Gonna have to. They upped their capital expenditure expectation for 2025 to $75 billion. And that's up from about 59 that they had planned. And what for? Right on the back of DeepSeek news and stuff like that. Whether you think it's fake or not, I mean, increasing your CapEx expenditure almost 50% over what you already planned. I don't know. And then we have Amazon earnings coming up Thursday, I think it is. And we'll do 30 minutes of your quests after we kind of hit a few highlights here. So welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, and entertaining, and is not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instruments, including stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries. Don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them. You may lose money. There's a substantial risk of loss involved in all trading. If you desire that personal financial advice, you just want somebody to tell you what to do, well, you got to hire and consult a financial advisor. It's not what I do. I don't play one on YouTube. I don't pretend to be giving anybody advice. If you ask me what to do, what you should trade, which one you should do better, I don't really have an opinion. I can tell you what I'm doing, which ones I trade, but I can't tell you what you should do. And should you do what I do? Probably not. Most of the time. Just depends. Just depends. I can't speak to you and your financial situation. I've been doing this a long time. I have a tolerance for risk that's a bit different than other people. A lot of times when I buy an option position, I'm willing to let it go to zero. It's the kind of the price of playing options. There's plenty of ones that make up for those ones that go to zero. Like plenty of ones that go up thousands of percent. And if you don't play those, but you play the little ones, it doesn't balance out. You end up losing. So anyway, make sure you've got your personal plan in mind. What I do may or may not fit with you. You're never going to be able to copy me. So I don't even suggest you try. That's different than a lot of gurus. Just follow me. I'll show you how to make tons of cash. Bullshit. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Anyway. Just lies. Snake oil and lies. Tomorrow we got non-farm employment change coming out. Right there. We have the final services PMI and ISM PMI. Blah, 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 blah. Not really any major anything this week except the big unemployment jobs report on Friday that we get every month. First Friday of the month, typically. And that's the only thing really cooking this week besides big tech earnings. And we're really just down to a few left here. Dun, 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 dun. We had AMD today. We had Palantir yesterday. Alphabet was today. Got Snap, Chipotle, Enphase, Amgen, Electronic Arts, Lumen, Prudential. Coming up tomorrow, we got Ford, Uber, Disney, Qualcomm, ARM. These are in the morning. These are in the evening. After the close. Amazon coming up right over there. Elf Beauty, Cloudflare, Net. We got Eli Lilly. We got Hershey's, Peloton, ConocoPhillips. Bunch of big name hitters. We did have Apple and Tesla last week. Apple, Tesla, Meta. Sometimes it's gone. Anyway, and then NVIDIA coming up on down the road. We'll see what happens. So we've got most of Mom and Nat, most of the Magnificent Seven. We had Netflix already too, which is kind of sort of the Magnificent Eight, I guess you might say. But you know, Netflix is way on down in market cap. Funny thing about AMD and Palantir right here. Let's kind of take an exercise in interestingness, if you will. Bear with me a moment as we review. Look at this right here. Check out these numbers. This right here. Look at their market cap number. 193 billion with a B, right? And I find that interesting. And then you look at the profit revenue, $6.82 billion right there. Yeah, $22 billion annually, right? 6.82 in a quarter, 6.82 billion. Now look at this. $236 billion the B. $725 million with an M. Quarterly revenue. Annual revenue. They make in a year what AMD makes. This is absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. I mean, what the beep? Anyway. I mean, like, AMD make like what Palantir makes in a year, AMD makes in a month on revenue. Just wild. Yet this is more valuable market capitalization. Market cap is bigger here. Talk about a hype story, right? I mean, isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Yeah, go buy. I can tell you how to blow out an account. You can blow one out by tomorrow. Go put all your money on 10% out of the money puts on the S&P 500. All the money on 10% of the money S&P 500 puts. Boom! I bet you 0 day, like buy 0 days tomorrow. 10% of the money. Probably you either do really, really good or 90% chance you go bust. Probably 95%, probably 99%. Anyway, that's how you blow one out. Do it. Anyway, there you go. It's absolute wild to me. Look at that crazy number. $236 billion on $700 million of revenue in a quarter. Annual I mean, the price to sales on this thing is absolutely ridiculous. 34. Anything over 20 is just ridiculous. I mean, look at something like AMD building, trying to build competing infrastructure to compete with NVIDIA, but, price to sales 11. Wild. And they probably have lower to go. Not far. Come on. Down in the circle. Down in the target. Almost there. PLTR hitting the upside. Be careful. That can fall. Right here. That was the target. I was warning. If we hit that, more than likely the direction was down. Target's right there. 179-ish. We might be there by the morning. Be careful. If you got short, good on you. Hopefully we stick it by the morning. If you got long on Google today, well, let's hope it's not too bad tomorrow. At least for your sake, if you got long. All right, moving on. What else do we have today? Dun, 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 dun. AMD. I didn't even pay attention to which way AMD went. Hey, Justin. Good to see you, my man. Yeah, AMD down. Look at that. In the post. Coming on down. Getting it. Getting it. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Sometimes I get lucky, right, Justin? Sometimes. Anyway, good to see you, my man. Good to see you. For those of you that remember, Justin used to be around a lot. All right. CMG also reporting earnings. Let's see what we got. Oh, come on, baby. That one coming on down. There's the target zone down in there. And let's see. In phase, that's been pretty rough. Even in the face of tariffs, we're popping a little bit. Resistance up here at 85. We already kind of scraped the target zone. That could be the bottom. Potentially made a higher low. We can keep that going. Break above here. Break above here. Get her going on the upside. Turn this baby around. Let's see. Electronic Arts. Ooh, wonder how bad that. Let's see how bad that one was. Benign so far. Not really popping, not really jumping. Already did a big drop. And let's see. We got cooking in the morning. Uber. Pushing above the roadmap line. This is interesting here. This might be setting up for a nice rally, at least up to here. We get above that, potential to come on up here. $90. Let's see what else we got. Disney tomorrow. That looks like it wants to come back to the roadmap line. First move down, retrace. Next move down, right there would be what I expect to happen. And let's see what else we got. NVO. Unclear. That may go lower. It's sitting right on support today. Resistance right here at 106 and further support down here at 57. Not clear. Let's see. Toyota Motors. It's been looking kind of rough. Strong resistance in this 200 area and strong support down here. Well, we've got an uptrend of lows cooking. 178, but if we get below that, it's probably down at 165 on Toyota Motors. Ford. These guys can't get out of their own way. Golly, what a sucky chart. Failed it, and just keep sitting here at this. Just keep retesting the lows. Wow, talk about going nowhere. QCOM. I was hopeful on that chart to break out. It just didn't. QCOM sitting. If this can break above 180, big target up here. Looks good for a double. Pretty good. ARM. I would watch for a retrace on that one. Has opportunity to pop, but it's not been. I mean, look, it's been trading inside this range. It made this big range back here last summer in like a couple weeks. It's just been inside that range ever since. It's not very strong for going anywhere. I cannot say for certain ARM is going anywhere. Now, O'Reilly Automotive is probably ripping. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. There's a target there, then maybe up to 1,500 above that. Just absolute ridiculous numbers. Let's see what the... See how big they are. $77 billion on $4 billion quarterly revenue. Annual $15 billion. And they're barely, like, price of sales is 4. I mean, it's car parts, right? I mean, Crazy though. All right. Amazon, the other biggie of the week. I have to say, this looks ripe. This is the target I've been looking for like 2 years. This is ripe for a retrace off of that target. Could push to the top of the target around 250, but yeah, it's already down here in the post. I think that's on Google, kind of sucking it up on the cloud. This may go down tomorrow or Thursday, I mean. So that one right there. Thursday after the close. And Elf Beauty and Cloud. You can do requests on anything. If I already covered them though, I'm just gonna just pass over it. All right. Let's hit some highlights. Normal market stuff. We've already hit the earnings highlights for the week. ES, man, what a nasty candle today. Holy. Could not break back above the high. Rallied back up and just could not break back above that high. Look at that. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. That was the gap fill. Just could not get through it. Now, if we do overnight, we end up here, we are set for new highs. This thing probably going to top out somewhere around this 6,200, possibly 6,250 area right up in here. If we can hit above, I mean, all contingent on getting above those highs. Get above it, we'll probably do this and get up there in the next week, maybe 2. That would be my guess. Educated Wild @ $$ guess. And NQ was a little stronger. This one actually tipping the odds that we're going higher. Does have a small downtrend of highs cooking here that we need to break through. Get that continuation right up there and go cruising. Almost 23,000 is going to be the target up here. 22.8. Pretty nice there. Russell got resistance up at the 618 on the daily charts. Zoom this up, buttercup. Right up in here. That's the big resistance here. Cooking. Somewhere up around 2360. 2360. I could be up there in a couple days. So we'll see what happens. Oil got a nice fat bounce off that big red candle we had this morning, but not proving anything yet. Now, here's the warning. Here's the alert. That area right there around 74.50. Probably. I'm very sloppy on my line drawing skills. That probably indicates we're going up. We could come back up near the high at 80. 80 and change. We could even make a slightly higher high up here. So this, a break back above this, sets it for a rally in the near term. And if we reject off the roadmap line, probably coming through this area and going crushing on down somewhere maybe around, let's say 60, right in here, 59, 60. So Brent, that's tilted the bias down on European crude right there. Set it up for further downside. We'll see. Now, if it breaks back above, kind of the same situation, we break back above, we'll probably go make a higher high right there. So it's at this point, somewhat of a 618 retrace. So this could bounce here and set up a bigger bounce up. Bigger bounce up. Sloppy drawing. Mouse is skipping a little bit. Anyway. Apollo and Echo triggered a bunch of oil-related trades today. Yeah, be careful, though. Like, that's still in a danger zone. Still in a danger zone. I would be very careful. That can reject off of there pretty hard. Gasoline. Talk about some volatility. Look at that range yesterday. The market was taking a bath. Gasoline ripping. And then comes right back down and bounces today. What the nuts. Nutty chart. That looks like it's set up. So this looks like a 1, 2. And looking like we're going to get at least a 3. If not a 4, 5 on down. Possibly back in the $1.85, $1.86 area. That's what it looks like. Now, if it just stops at 123, we could just be at $2 again on gasoline. But if this breaks out, inflation is ripping back really quickly. This breaks out back above this. Watch out. That can get rocking and rolling really quickly. Strategic Petroleum Reserve is basically empty. Trump wants to fill it, so he has little tools to alleviate a spike in gasoline and oil prices. Few tools available. Heating oil has bounced off the roadmap line from above. That's bullish so far. We've held the 618 right there so far. Get above it. Take us up here at 260, 270 area. Maybe even up to 280, the bottom of this. Let's see where we get to on heating oil in the coming days. Natural gas, if this breaks below the roadmap line, probably coming right down here. Back to $2. And the range is like $1.80 to $2.20. GC squeaking up in there. 2,900 is the target. We hit that target. Watch out, baby. This thing can roll like a beast. For some reason we pop up and we open up there tomorrow. May not be good. Silver coming up. That's the level. We get above that. Probably coming up here. Could happen quickly. 36. Now, the downside is if gold tops out and this rolls, this could make a bigger, much bigger lower low here than I was talking about before. Move this over. Move this over. Yeah, it could go down into the 25 area instead of stopping up here in the 28, 29 area. Possibly could come, instead of stopping there, we could come on down here. Maybe stop in this zone. I'll be careful on this. There's a lot of uncertainty on a lot of these charts right now. That's very overlapping. Right up into that resistance zone. Not my favorite. I like clarity. This is not clarity. Copper still looks best if we do one of these fast flushes. This matches this right over here from 22. If we could just do that really quickly, clean this up, that would be super awesome. There was the target zone right down there around $3. Top of it's at $3. Lumber, you know, all sorts of other stuff. Cryptos, I mean, Bitcoin was selling hard into the close. Looks like we're still kind of selling hard. Good hunting for that 618 retrace I was talking about this morning. Yeah. Zoom it into the right time frame. There we go. That low down there, that high right there. We're hunting that 618 bounce right in the zone. Right there. So that could have been it. Have a little bit further we could go. That looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, and we get a little final flush. Then we hold that as a big 1, 2, 3. Then we break out above this high. And like I said this morning, that probably sets us up to head on up to like 115 to 120, possibly, on the Bitcoin. Somewhere in this 110, 115 area. Something like that. So this is the real tell right there. Look for that break above there. Rock and roll it, baby. Rock and roll. So excited about that. We'll use the rocket emoji. Blasting off there. We can get above that breakout there. Ching. Plus. I like it. Let's do it. Everybody go buy 100 Bitcoins. 100,000 Bitcoins. Alrighty. That time of the day where we're going to take requests. I need capital letters. 1 request per person per request. You got to wait for a couple people to go, and you can go again. I'll give priority to channel members. So if your name's in green, I'll get you first, and then I'll circle back and catch everybody else. So Ethereum, working on this reversal here. Big resistance up there at the downtrend highs. All right. If I already covered it in the earnings bit I did there at the beginning, I'm not covering your ticker. Sorry, already covered it. All right. We got CBOE and check it out on the daily chart. I'm just gonna do basically high time frame analysis. There's your resistance right there. And if that's a first move down, a retrace holds below that, next move down right like this. And if we can get above there, there's your upside right there at 225. Easy as that. Let's see, EWC, fingers on the right keys. Gnarly. Turn down at the resistance, at the gap. It's unclear. It's got a small uptrend of lows. We break below that. Possibly a little bit deeper to go. 1, 2, 3, something like that. If we get above these highs, that gap fill and those highs right there, take it right up here, roughly around 45, 44, 45. Yeah, right around that. 44, 44, 50. Right there. Not a big mover. EWC. All right, CTSH. Remember to give me a like or a thumbs up or interact with the video. If I do anything that you say that's helpful, it's beneficial, even if you don't like the analysis, just react with the video. And I appreciate it. Share with a friend. Invite more people. I mean, this continues the decline of popularity. I may have to discontinue this show. That looks like we're hitting targets and may retrace on CTSH. CTSH. CRNC. I would guess this is low price stuff, right around like stuff that's right around $10. Equities around $10 doesn't always follow patterns, so be careful. That doesn't count like cryptos or futures, but it does count equities, stocks around $10. Watch for support here. It looks like where we're coming back. If we get below that, we can easily come back to this consolidation we did for months and months. And if we bounce, maybe. We'll see. We'll see if we bounce. So, thing popped up into this consolidation and rejected hard. It's not exactly positive at the moment. UNH has still got big downside. They potentially go. Retraced up to the roadmap line. As long as we hold in this zone, potentially even up as high as this. Next move down can take us down here, around 440. And it could be starting a big down. Like, I mean, healthcare has had a rough go here lately. I mean, look at this. This one discontinuing after 93 years, whatever, of consistently raising their dividend, being a dividend achiever. They're now having to cut the dividend. I mean, that's rough. That's rough right there. No longer going to be a dividend achiever. You got to be like to get on the list, just to be on the list, you got to like consistently pay and raise dividends for 30 years just to get on the list. So they've been on there for like 93 years, and then they announced they're going to have to cut the dividend on the earnings. So they lost money though. Got to be careful. Even long-established companies can go on the toilet. I mean, look at Kodak. Is that even around? Kodak. Yeah, KODK. I mean, this thing's trying to climb out of the basement. Eastman Kodak used to be a great company, and then... Wow. Ouch. All right, moving on. AI, C3AI, if we can hold right here. Gee, mini Christmas. Gonna have to break above that 618 resistance and top of the box 48, possibly 51. That box comes from that rejection and that rejection over there. Probably be not expecting it to go ripping off like Palantir. Hood, I got like a 70 target up there right now. I've got alerts at 60 and 70. I have shares. I'm probably going to unload them up here. 78-ish. They're hit. I mean, they're hitting it and getting it, but they're due a retrace. Totally honest. Now this could outperform and get, you know, even higher than I would ever expect. 265 up here is not even that far away on a Fibonacci basis. Could do something like that, but I don't know if I want to hang out for that. I rode through all this, and I'm ready to just GTFO and move on. All right. MCK, I saw. Dang, I skipped the chat. Hey, do I do that? Like 1 click, 2 clicks, it's fine. The third click, it goes all the way to the bottom. MCK sitting here. McKeeson. I kind of rejected, right back down, came back up, sitting. Like, it makes, this didn't bounce. It didn't hit. Excuse me. Oh. So, chicken biscuit. I got a funny story about Popeyes. That moved up, that retrace. Did not hit the roadmap line, but that could potentially shoot this thing way on up here. In fact, there's the potential. But I don't know. I don't know. So, back to Popeyes. Y'all love my stories, right? Popeyes had a coupon on T-Mobile Tuesday, like 3 chicken tenders for $3. Not a great one. I mean, usually it's free stuff. I mean, that's usually you get like a free Firehouse sub or something like that. Free pizza at Little Caesars. I mean, you can. Some of you be like, JT, why are you even eating that crap? That crap is delicious. All right. I'm just throwing it out there. So I clicked on the button to add it to the cart, and you go through all the settings, and the button to add it to your order is grayed out. And I was like, well, fine, I'll just load it on the desktop, and same exact grayed out button on my mother trucker. And I, right next to it is get a dozen tenders for $10. I was like, wait a minute, that's cheaper per tender right there. And we were feeding like 3 people, so we were gonna try to like get multiple coupons on multiple accounts, whatever. And I was like, we could get a dozen tenders for $10. That's a better deal. That's cheaper. We already had a ton of biscuits from this event we did last weekend with Catholic Scouts, and I had a tray of biscuits, and I was like, we can have chicken biscuits. So I ordered a dozen tenders for $10. My dad runs over there, gets it, picks it up. He's like, they were just getting the bag set up on the counter when I got there. They gave me 2 dozen tenders for $10. Holy cow, I'm so full of chicken. And now I'm like burping chicken biscuits. Anyway, that's the funny story. Anyway, so my 3 tenders for $3 turned out to be 24 tenders for $10, and pretty good deal. Baba potentially going up here. Right there. Sometimes I get lucky, That's kind of like, sometimes it happens. So there's Baba for you. INSW. Baba's sitting right there at the resistance. If we can get above it, going higher. INSW. Looks like we're on a path to go lower. Resistance is at the roadmap line right there. Looking kind of bearish. And we'll come back and hit the other tickers. Microsoft. I thought I said something about this, but it is below that uptrend of lows. This is on danger watch here. Danger, danger, danger. This can drop out like that. It's on danger watch. That's what I would say. ACN. Target is right there. 407. On the big drop from back here last summer. rocket ship, and possibly up to 425-ish. Yeah, 425. That's ACN. We already did Microsoft, ADBE. Adobe, still on the path to go lower. That's first target, then second target down here. So 390, 400-ish. F to short is already covered. Z for Zillow. It's got resistance right there. I don't think Ford's going anywhere. That was the bottom line when I did the analysis in the opener. Zillow resistance there. Probably gonna do a retrace back. We haven't touched the roadmap line since like last summer, so be careful chasing that too much longer. I don't think we're just shooting off to 110. Just don't see it at the moment. Right there. Mora is sucking it up, doing nothing. If we break down below these lows, we're going down to like 13. That's the warning. Shorts are hitting that one pretty hard. Under the roadmap line, that's kind of the bias right now. Down to 13. I know it sucks. Wish it was different, but it's not. TX. Hit the target. Watch for the retrace. That's all we got right now. Apple already covered. Well, maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. Covered it this morning. Apple, downside. If we get below the roadmap line, and there's the resistance right there, and if we get above it, there's the target up there. And XYZ. Square, basically. That's the target. Right in there. Looking for the further decline. Lily. Sitting right here. We get that prior high and the gap fill right there. So resistance here and resistance here. And if we get through all that, we could go up to like 1,000. Does have earnings coming up on Thursday. Zoom, 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 zoom. First move down. Retrace. Next move down. Would put it right down here. All that is this move down. Copied right over here. Puts it right in that zone. That would be what I would expect based on the pattern. And Meta resistance is right up here. 960. Support is down here at 560. Big range. Might be kind of volatile. Coin, I expect this to retrace down here. If crypto doesn't get its crap together. Maybe even if crypto does get its crap together. BRKB. It's just sitting under resistance and above support. If we break through with supports, first move down, repeated, probably somewhere around 430. Use this tool, that move, that move, that move. Oh, we have 423. It was a little high. Somewhere right in there. Yeah, 430. Yeah. That's kind of the standard area. We come up a little shy of the 100 to getting a little excited, a little overexcited to the 1272. So that would be the target zone right there. If we break below the roadmap line. If we break above this, we're going on up 499 upside target there. Alrighty, GE Veranova. That really looks like we're coming for the roadmap line at this point. First move down, retrace to the 618, holding. Next move down, puts it right in there. Let's see, I just skipped the chat again. Cool. So we made the first move down. It's a reoccurring theme here. First move down. Next move down. Could put it like that. If we reject that resistance, we got a resistance up to that prior high. And if we get above it, that would be the limited upside target. 185, 196. Bigger downside. Be careful. Love that chicken and Popeyes. Definitely. RBLX. Poking through the resistance. I may be done on the downside. Of course, that's a nasty. You know what this was? Look at this. It was basically a watermelon seed squeeze. And it popped out. So you know what the target is. It's the height of the mouth of the watermelon seed squeeze. Up here. That's the target zone right there. Plus or minus a little bit. That could be heading back to 110. Right there. That's Roblox for you. That's not a new high, so that can go down like a rock from there, so be careful. All right, caught up to the chat. All right, so from here on out, channel members, you're just like everybody else. I'll go back to the top and hit all the rest of them. So, alrighty. GLW. If you're still with me, stick around. We drop below like 60 people. I'm going to cut it off. Just let you know. GLW coming down to the roadmap line would be what I expect. Nice fat retrace. ACHR. Back to the roadmap line. Didn't even have to update the chart. BAC. Potential to come back to the roadmap line. It's funny right there. That's a lower high. First move down. Oop. 2 clicks. First move down, the retrace. Next move down. Somewhere right in the zone. Right. Sloppy drawing. Low, slightly lower low than that low. Or at least even with that low. Kind of what I expect at this point. But it can just break out. It could go on up. So could possibly go on up. Could just be a 4-hour bounce. Depends on what your time frame is. Like 4-hour bounce. See that? Potential to go up here 48, 49. But it's also potential to roll back down to the daily roadmap line. Daily roadmap line right there. If you're like, what is this magic yellow line? Well, you can do a couple things here. You can click the link right under me over here and go to the channel homepage. The video I have pinned to the channel tells you all about the roadmap line. Gives you the code, tells you how it works, all that sort of thing. And if you're like, okay, I don't know how to code. I don't want to know how to do code. Just give me the easy button. Expand the link. Expand the description down below me where the more button is. Click it. Expand it out. Click the link for like $5. This is Market Roadmap. Click that. Buy it. You get the easy button. You just click it and it puts it on your chart. One comment was, that really was an easy button. That was probably the easiest indicator I've ever installed in my entire life. It literally is an easy button. Like you click the button and boom, it's in your favorites list and you can just, come over here to indicators right like this. And you go, well, Market Roadmap, and you just click it and add it to the chart. Right like there. Yeah, I've got this one on up here. So, boom, it's on the chart. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So this is a custom indicator I wrote up here. Anyway. Alrighty. That's the roadmap line. That was BAC. FTNT. So the other day for a bullish breakout. So I don't know when. I don't recall ever giving it for a bullish breakout. I said it could, but it hasn't really. BAC. Let's see. I don't recall it being on the. It wouldn't have been on my morning list since back here. Right here. Yeah, hit the target. That would be a retrace at this point. Now, I did say lots of financials, and this did bounce and is likely to come up to 192. Right there. I said a lot of the financials will probably go with it, but now we're out of financial earnings and we're into big tech earnings, so big tech's going to I mean, financial is going to experience a pullback, and as big tech finishes announcing earnings, it will probably pull back a little bit in general, not like any specific one necessarily. And it's just kind of the way it rolls. MS, that did break out. And JPM, that did break out. And so BAC is the laggard. And WFC, it did make a higher high also. So BAC is still the laggard. And let's see, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, that did break out. So BAC is the laggard out of all of those big banks. All right, back to FTNT. And that looks played out. Possibly this bigger target up here at 122. Possibly. TSLA, Dave and Buster's going in the toilet. Probably coming on down to the target zone. Nike going in the toilet. Man. Resistance at the roadmap line. Support down here. Man, we're squeezing it down. Let's hit the target. 69 has been the target since sometime last fall, or maybe even last. That's been the target for a long time. I've had that down there. All right. NUE. Well, potential to have bottomed, but there's a resistance at the roadmap line coming down steeply. Coming down like that. May bounce off and come down here. I don't know. I wouldn't get sucked into that at this point. It's not a reversal yet. And not even a great support yet. And already did BAC. Did I skip something? SCZL, Sezzle. Chat is weird for me. I'm not using YouTube, so I'm using another app to monitor the chat. Now, if we could bounce, that's the resistance. Watch for that or that. There's the resistance right there. Pretty firm. That's Sezzle for you. TLNT. Planet Fitness. I did buy shares in this when I said I was buying shares of this. I remember. Whenever I said that, I think we were right here. No, I think I'm up 100%. I think I bottomed down here. Yeah. I think I bottomed right there. I don't even remember. I'm sitting on shares and bought them. Yeah, I think I bought them right there. That measured bounce right there. So I'm up like 100%. Where is it going? Right? Target's 128 right here. Let me set my alert. Like 126, 127. Pop up there and then retrace probably. Alrighty. That's Planet Fitness, OXY. So if we don't hold this, here's the next target down. And it can come all the way down in the 30s. So much for Warren Buffett, right? 41 and then 33. That's your next levels on Oxy. All the oxen free. 10. Yeah, I wouldn't buy that. Like, nah, now. That may come down to this $10 area. It's like potential almost 50% down. That's rough. DHR. Dana here. Well, coming on down. 205. Possibly going to make a lower low down here around 174. Going for it. Cheesecake Factory. Upside resistance 65. PPLT. PPLT. Platinum. And it's a giant downtrend right there. Depends on how you want to do it. So resistance at the downtrend could pop up here, and then I mean that's kind of hit a floor right there a couple times. You know. And this is cleaner. What do I expect this to do? Hang out in this triangle. I expect this to keep doing this. Yeah, why? Because that's the pattern. Frustrate the crap out of me. That's the platinum chart right there. Amazon. Like I said, I already covered that one in the opening. Hymns. Watch out for the resistance at 43, maybe 55, maybe 63. I'm not gonna say it's stopping anywhere because hey, you're no longer allowed to sell GLP-1 drugs. Wherever that happened, right over here, and then just rockets out. So I'm not gonna discount that one at all. HBI. Watch for that to hit the roadmap line. If we do, sets up bounce, that high, that low. Nice big fat resistance, $9. Remember what I said about low price stuff? Yeah, doesn't always follow patterns. STX has been in a bit of a grind. It's a big sideways pattern right there. Ding, ding, ding. Can come right back down in here. I don't see a good reason it would break out right now. Having closed at 94 under the roadmap line, continuation lower. Could put it down in here. Not the best. And bigger picture. You can be like, well, what about all the data centers? Yeah, I mean, maybe they build them, maybe they don't. It's kind of all the data center stuff popped, and then now it's all getting crushed. You know, it was like, oh, giant investment. Yeah, that's what's so funny, right? The DeepSeek thing got announced before that whole big like Stargate thing that caused all this stuff to pop. It's like DeepSeek came out, and then they announced Stargate. Stargate popped, and then over the weekend, looks like DeepSeek's going to kill us all, or whatever. And then it started dropping last week. And then tariffs this week, whatever. It's all crap. That turned down. What that did, that came down to 3-day roadmap line, came up, turned down at that 618. And probably going to go lower, somewhere down in here. Maybe even all the way down to the bottom of this box. Way on down. Somewhere around 50. I digress. Mainstream media narratives on why things are doing. There's no why in the market. That's the hardest thing for you to grasp. We as humans love stories. Love stories. I mean, the more stories I tell on here, the better I do on YouTube. But the problem is, the market doesn't move according to stories. It's just, it doesn't. Like, it never has, it never will. It doesn't move by stories. So, there is no why. That's the hardest thing for us. We always want to know why. People are like, well, why did the market just drop? There is no why. The market dropped. Because of sentiment. There's more sellers than buyers. Why'd the market pop? Because of sentiment. There's more buyers than sellers. What causes the sentiment? We as humans, as a giant herd, all right? We start selling. We're, oh, sugar, honey, iced tea. I got to sell too. Can't be left out. Herd mentality causes it to drop more. It gets down here. It's like, oh, yeah, well, that's... Everybody starts forgetting about it. Then a few buyers come in and start picking it up. And then take it back higher again. That's why we get these big swings too. It's like, oh, I got to sell. Then other people pile on. And we usually sell in 3-wave moves. Or correct. You know, we correct moves. You can correct up and you can correct down. We usually correct in 3-wave moves. And we usually do impulsive trending moves in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just the way it works. It's the way the herd works. All right. And each one of these corrections in there, like a nice 3-wave. When it's clear. When it's unclear, it's usually a complex thing. And it can get way complicated. When it's nice and clear, you know, see, this was trending down, 3-wave up, 1, 2, 3. Not real clean, but you can see that spike, that retrace, that little final spike. And then we plummeted out. That trend was down until we got to an exhaustion point. That's kind of how it works. So, anyway. Celsius keeps sucking it up. My level, my bail point is right down here. We keep pushing it, pushing it, pushing it. And I'm just going to keep holding it for now. Get below the bail point. Below 20, I'm out probably. Getting close. Another couple bucks. Giant upside potential, but could be 3 or 4 years from now. Already hit hood. CRWD. Upside potential all the way up here. You know, the conservative target around 441. The big crazy target 500 to 600, maybe even 700. If it gets really spicy. Ow. Coming back to the roadmap line would be my expectation. Nothing's clear here. That's hit resistance. Could stretch it up to 27, but it's still at resistance. Be careful. On OWL. BitX is just Bitcoin. So we're just take Bitcoin. Figure out the move you expect. A giant rocket ship. Figure out the move you expect. If it's that much, 9% upside, maybe even from here, 12% upside. BitX is 2x leverage on Bitcoin, so 24% upside. Easy as that. Easy as that. That's how you do it. That's the way you do it. That's how you do leverage tickers. Go to the underlying, figure out the move, use the leverage, 2x leverage, do the multiplier, and then round down. Like it probably won't move 24%, it'll probably move like 22%. GLW. That's that little volatility right there. Earnings. Beat on top, beat on the bottom. Still looks like it wants to flush back down to the roadmap line after hitting the 1618 right there. Looks like we might do that. Hadn't been down there since April. Didn't even hit it in August. Wow. That's been a good long time. Market's back open. ANF keeps sucking. Targets here, 97, and then potential to go down to 62. This is one of the best performers in 2024, and it won't be in 2025. Oklo. That one just keeps rocking and rolling. Potential 52, 62, 100 upside resistances. Don't really have much better than that at this point until it does another big retrace. Support all the way down here at the roadmap line. And if that continues exponential, this will continue exponential. But eventually they run out of juice and start retracing. Nothing goes up forever and ever and ever. RMBS, Rambus. Big competitor to MU. And we're kind of cooking with an attempt to break through the downtrend highs. Attempting. Got that high to break through, and then potentially we can come on up. We did bottom right where I thought we would. That's pretty sweet. Almost perfect on the bottom. Really nice. All right, so that puts the high to low. Yeah. 84, possibly 92 on the upside target here. I can't trade everything, so you're like, well, did you trade that? No, probably not. I only trade a few things, and I can't trade it all. I can watch charts. In fact, I get really good at predicting price moves because I watched thousands and thousands of charts, and I looked at 40,000 charts in 2024, according to the Trading View. 40,000 charts. Let's think about that for a minute. Let's sit here and do this. This dropped, retraced, probably going to come right there back there. Would be my expectation. UVXY. UVXY, not YX. And VIX is sucking it up. This is getting down low. They're probably going to do a reverse split for long. Probably going to crush it down lower. VIX chart, this is the underlying, is dropping off violently. And it does have a slight uptrend bias. It's interesting. A slight uptrend going. So, for the person that was asking about when to buy puts on S&P, if this gets down in this area from 15 down to 12, that's when volatility is cheaper, more affordable. And if we get below, if we go touch this line, that's the opportunity. Because we don't typically stay below this line very long before we get another volatility event. That's just the long history of the market. We get down in that vicinity around 12 or lower. We don't stay down there before we jump up again. You see what we did in August. Haven't done that again. We don't typically do giant moves back to back. All right, that was the biggest move since COVID right there in August. That was a nice big fat one in December. We'll probably settle back down a little bit. That's typically what we do. We get a nice spike and then we settle back into this 12, 13 area before we spike again. And we do have the president that tweets and causes volatility in the office now. So this could stay elevated. We rock and roll back here. Look at 2016 to 2020. You can see that we regularly got volatility. Pretty regularly. So that may be what we see. We may see lots of these spikes as, whatever chaos ensues. Probably see at least, just based on history, we'll probably see at least 3 or 4 trips up above 30 while he's in office. That one didn't quite make it. That was before he took office. So over here, we'll probably see 3 to 4 trips above 30. My prediction. While President Trump's in office. Doesn't really matter what he says. MU. Doesn't matter the why. The why doesn't matter. It's just it's back to price patterns and what is statistically likely to happen. MU kind of hanging out down here. Resistance right there. There's support right here. Potential to dip. Not much to say. There's the resistance and here's the support. Otherwise, same thing I said before. Sideways will be my expectation. DLB. Dun, 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 dun. Big picture drop. Get the pop. 97 will be the target. Actually, that's the old fibs. Let's get the new one. 94 and 98 possibly right there. GILD. Yeah, at the target, potential to go up to 112. And just sitting, hanging out the roadmap line, saying, hey, what's up? We can get above, we can go on cruising back up here, retest the 618. We get above that, we can go up here and retest the targets at 62. So there's the resistance going up, and target going up, and support is here. And if we crush that, going back to the bottom. Simple as that. WC. This kicked off along. Right there's the target. May dip back. And if we get below it, could go on an extension. Always possible. This is biased to the long side right here, though. Bias up. And the duration, I'm going to guess based on what I drew, is a 90 average bar duration. That can last twice as long before we hit the target. So, something like that. Might just take a good long time. 90 bars is in the historical average for this to work out. Alrighty. Moving on. MP. Well, that pretty much did exactly what I drew. Resistance 25 and 26. Possibly up to 30. Don't expect much more than that without another retrace. It did lots of retraces on the way down. See, this was the same pattern. Look, right, the retrace and the extension, retrace, extension, retrace, extension, retrace, extension. Did it over and over and over. They typically do that on the way up. Retrace, extension, retrace, extension. Sometimes they're longer than others. So it's MP for you. PNW. Alto Networks looks like, to me, we're heading right there. There's the resistance. There's what it looks like we're going. First move down. Copy it off of that high. Right there. That's what it looks like. Seen it before. Seen it lots of times. The RDO. It's not a daily bounce. It's probably a 4-hour bounce. Makes it less likely to work out, but it might. It worked nonetheless. 92, 97 on the upside. CRDO win. Has this made a bottom? No, it has not. Dear goodness, man. That looks like it's going to flush. Like, we turn down right there. That's what it looks like. It's not bullish. Not bullish. Nope. Caesars. Entertainment. Looks the same as win. Although that could have bottomed, but looks nasty. Elf Beauty. Probably, yeah, going on down. If we get below this box right here, which we're right at the bottom, this could start off a much bigger decline. As I said before. ALC. I've not bought Elf back. I can't bring myself to do it. That turned down. We break below that, probably coming down here. Where I drew the target. We sliced the roadmap line. We did not find support there. We just sliced through it. Potentially going down. Snap. Snapchat. It's not very bullish. Sideways. Sorry, Justin. I know you love Snapchat. Wrongover loves it too. Maybe up in here, but that's just looks sideways is what that looks like. Looks like we're just gonna go more of this in that kind of range. Charter Communications has been ripping and dipping. Yeah, rip and that dip. And if we can hold here, break back above, like hit the target. That was beautiful. All right, let's just clean her up. What do we got? Potentially played out for now is what we got, unfortunately. Long term. Yeah, I don't think I looked at this since last fall. Golly. Potential 5 down, so we may retrace it up into this zone right around 380 and then turn down again for a third move down. This is potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with a big 4, a little 2. That low, that high. Support is right here. So I would expect a retrace like this. And continuation like that, right down there. That's what I expect on Charter. Big picture. GitLab. Bum, 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 bum. Potential to rally up to the prior high, but stopped right at that. Like when I say prior high, I'm talking about this high. Here. Those numbers kind of correspond right there. And it's stuck right at that high, prior high. So may retrace before you can do that. I don't know. This gets like, it depends on your conviction. Starting to look a little played out though, because that's potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any nominal little spike above can kick it off a bigger retrace back down in this area right here before we can go up again. That's been a pretty major resistance right there. Not convinced it's going through. Crocs. Almost to the target on the downside. Man, wrong. Look at that. You were disappointed when I drew that back when we were up here. Wow. Sometimes I get lucky. Unclear. And that stock has not gone anywhere in 25 years. You see this, right? Look. Yeah. I don't expect that to do jack diddly squat. Mountain Vale Sports. potential to hold support here, but if it doesn't, it's probably coming on down to 155. If not, new low below COVID. Yeah, if it doesn't hold in here, this may be coming down here. Looks pretty rough. PL. It's not my kind of chart for trying to predict anything on. I would watch out for this zone right there. It may find the buyers that got stuck. They just want to get the heck out of there. And they may start selling. BCE. And hunting the bottom. How low can she go? She can go to 0. I did FTNT already. GWRE. There's the target, 214, 221. All right. Dear gosh. Is that the right? Multi-asset return. Why the devil would we mess with this? It doesn't look like it's going anywhere. I would venture to guess that is going sideways. Shake Shack. I know the stock, but I've never been. There's a few places like I've never been. I've like never been to Chipotle. Got like a couple of very inconvenient locations here. Never even seen a Shake Shack before. That's back to the roadmap line. Potential 143. If we bounce, you know, there's the resistance, 130. Potential go up here. And if this doesn't hold, bigger downside, but I think we're bounce up and then do that if we're going to go down further. Oklo already did. FTNT already did. VNet. It's a low price stock. Be careful. Can't really predict anything. And done much. It looks like it's potentially about to top out though. It's like a resistance right in here. And we may get a retrace back down in this zone right in here before it can go higher again. But I gave up on Bud. Dang. Try that again. I gave up. It crushed the pattern. It wrecked it. Had such good opportunity to go higher, and then it absolutely crushed it. Freaking lower low. Glad I bailed. Probably coming down here. That was the uptrend of lows. Kind of warned about. And that one. That one. That one. And then we had this one that, and then we quickly broke it. Probably coming down here. Funny enough, right now is not even the bad situation. That was back here, right? So there's potential we hold this prior low right here. Potential. Just doesn't look very good though. Doesn't look very good. That was a 618 bounce. We're back to it after I failed to start. Yeah, what a bummer. Sometimes they don't work. Like this one, example, one that didn't work. Like I bought it. Didn't work. At least not yet. May work in the future, but at this point, there's the low, there's the high. Here's the potential if we hold. Here's the resistance. Held that like a rock. So if we can bounce, get above that. There's the target. Otherwise, we're going lower than this. Nominal lower low right there. Reset the whole thing. That's Bud for you in a nutshell. CCJ. Well, there's why you respect the 618 retrace. There. Respect the roadmap line. That looks like we're going to flush further down. That high, that low, that high. Here's the potential support zone. Possibly down to 38. CCJ. All right. PI. There's the low, there's the high. Potential to find support right around this area, right in here. STRW. Start by fields. Just in the box sideways. And Amazon. Already did. For our leverage ticker, just go to MDT. Sideways. Y'all should find stuff that's trending. Really? Really? I'm way behind. Holy crap. KO. Down. Sideways. SMR. Consolidating. Watch out for a retrace. That's a setup for a third move down. 1, 2. Flush it down here. Hey, Terry, I saw you in the chat there. I want to flip it through. Walmart's. Sky's the limit. There's, 109 maybe. Yale. Watch for retrace. Is back up to crazy levels here. Hasn't really ever been able to sustain a move up through this zone, so watch out for a violent retrace. It's just the nature of the beast. A-Lab already did meta. Waiting for meta. A-Lab potential to bounce, but also there's resistance right there. We may see a flush. That would be the upside target right there. Spooks. Target is up here, 140. I need to set me an alert right at 135. I'm up like 100% on that one. Also, bought down here on a whim. Like I said, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. SBLK. Potential for that to flush on down to that target. LTH. There's the upside potential to 35, 34, 35. BMBO. Sounds like a piece of junk. Resistance. Watch for that to flush again. And Tesla. I cover this every morning. You should come to the morning show. As long as we can hold these lows right here, these two lows. As long as we're holding, bias is up to 500. If we break it, we're coming down here. That's Tesla for you. Simple as that. Costco is potential to go on up here. Anywhere from 1,000 to 1,200. My educated wild guess on that one. On. Watch for a retrace. We're kind of in the fluffy zone here. Could come on up to 68. Jack in the box. It's going on down in a blaze of glory. Who knows how low. Where's the bottom? COVID low. BMY. And watch for that to flush. Lulu. In the resistance. If we can get through. We push it on through. Target's up here. It's been up here 630 for a while. AT&T. Nice bounce out of the box. Potential. There's potential cooking. I don't know if I can stick it. We're out of this downtrend. It's a big one. Things been trending down. That was a lower low. Like 1, 2. This is how long this pattern's been going. It says back here, year 2000. 1. This was the 2. That 1, 2, 3. That corrective move. And then here's the finishing move into that low right there. This might be the tell that we're about to go higher finally on AT&T after a bajillion years of going sideways. That correction, that's it like that. Upside target would be up here around 53 or 60 for now. And Matt Fettig got to be happy. He's got like a family fortune in AT&T that's gone nowhere for a bajillion years, for his whole life. PHM. Anybody remembers Matt Fettig? PHM. Resistance. Right there. Watch for downside. ALB. Still hadn't found the bottom as far as I could tell. Potential to go lower down here around 70. AC, I did ACHR. I thought I did that one already. Down to the roadmap line. In case I was unclear a minute ago. GLD. Right there. 26, like 2,900 on GC. And the slight factor, 263, possibly 271, maybe. I don't know. Hard to tell. Cisco. Potential to go up to 68. All right, we're down below 60, so I'll do a couple more and I'll wrap it up. AVGO, back to the roadmap line. Potential, but it's also potentially bounced. That was a 3-wave retrace. Pretty solid. So 260 upside. The breakout is the support at the breakouts, and resistance up here at 260. I swear I did VRT already. Yeah. Giant upside resistance at the gap down. GL. And yeah, watch for that to viciously pull back to 78. That's a giant pullback, so be careful on GL. Meta already did. IBM. Man, crazy move up. Maybe 289, 290. AGX, no guess on that one. AGX downside right here. Roadmap line. Mara already did. USD. I don't even know what the heck that is. The crypto. Yeah, there's no pullbacks to do anything off of. So, no idea here. There's no pullbacks to work with. So we're already well past any extension. Be careful. That may be topping out anywhere in this $6 to $9 area. And Powell Industries. Potential double hit on the roadmap line. It moved up, respected that, came back down, holding. So it's kind of mixed signals here. That moved down, that retrace. Looks best if we bottom out down here. So it may have one little flush in store, or it can reverse and go higher. Snow. Grinding on the targets there, 192, 196. Possibly a size 210. So resistance right there, resistance right there. And it can come back pretty violently. It's got that giant gap down over here. Be careful. It's going to take some work to get through that. Alrighty. did I swear I did VST. Yeah, roadmap line, target DLTR, Dollar Tree, upside resistance at the roadmap line, downside target still down here around 56. May come shy of that one. CVS, Charlie Victor Sierra, still looking like garbage. CVS and Walgreens might merge. As crazy as that sounds, I can't imagine how that wouldn't be some sort of antitrust like block, but one of them might go out of business. So it's kind of like Rite Aid and whatever. I mean, end up like one national pharmacy. Sounds crazy, but that's what it looks like. Amazon getting the game though. Amazon's the player that moved in, so pick up the pieces. HWM. I guess Walmart does pharmacy stuff too. Watch for the resistance. Retrace would be what I expect off of just banging our head right there. And yeah, still there you go. All right, made it to the bottom. Thanks everybody. Thanks for coming. I'll see you in the morning. Same bad time, same bad channel. 9:15 in every morning. I'm live going through the market movers. This was the only request show I do a week, so thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you again.